All right, guys, welcome to another episode. We have a special guest, actually our first carrier rep in the history of the podcast. We've only been doing this for about a month and a half now, but it's been awesome. So today, guys, we have the pleasure of welcoming Devon Martin from National Life Group. Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks for having me, Hayden. It's a pleasure to be here.
How are you liking Arizona so far?
I'm loving it. I was going to say I was going to bring the heat, but the heat's already here. I think it's 115 all week.
And it's so dang humid.
Yeah.
So, guys, super excited to have NLG on the podcast today. Devon's worked with us really since I started at FFL. And I think we all know there's some carrier reps that, maybe they're not the most helpful and we don't want to hang out with. And then we have the carrier reps that are really helpful and we do want to hang out with. And you fit both those categories for the we want to hang out with and you're really helpful. So we appreciate you. But guys, today, what I want to do is I want to go through NLG products, kind of updates of FFL, where we're at, things you're seeing in the market, things we can improve on, best practices. And as we start to really get the hang of IULs and selling these bigger policies, we're starting to see a huge explosion of volume with NLG.
Absolutely. So, I've worked with you guys for 7 years now, and every year the growth is just impressive. It doesn't surprise me, but it still impresses me. The thing about our company is we're 178 years old, but we refer to ourselves as a 178-year-old startup. And what I mean by that is we realized yesterday's home runs don't win today's ball games, and we realized the value in FFL. That's why we listened to your feedback. So less than a year ago, we came out with the simplified issue IUL Rapid Protect. And we did it because we realized the amount of volume that you do, and there's a need for that in the market serving Middle America. So that's a year new. We came out with Pintasign 3 months ago because we realized you guys needed that as well.
Yep.
And we're even improving those living benefits. So I learned this the other day, 60% of bankruptcies in America are due to some sort of health, illness, or injury or some form of that. Sadly, a lot of those people don't have those living benefits.
Yep.
But I say that to say we're even improving all of those as well.
For sure. I think when people talk about IULs, Devon, everyone thinks about cash value, right? Which is, of course, is a main component of IULs. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, with life insurance, we think about death benefit. But I believe, and it's a reason why our agents love selling you guys, is you guys have amazing living benefits. And what I believe is, and it's a true stat, most people are going to get some sort of critical, chronic, or terminal illness before they actually pass away. And of course, that's really expensive with medical bills. But if those people are in their working years, they're not going to be working either forever anymore, or at least for a couple months, a couple years. And if they don't have that protection to pay them when they're sick, their family, like you said, is in huge trouble.
No question. The only thing more expensive than actually dying is surviving with an illness.
Mm-hmm. In terms of living benefits, so I know with you guys, terminal, chronic, critical, can you talk about like the percentages? And then also, I know you guys have some cool stuff with some other sicknesses.
Yeah, the best thing about our living benefits is we've pioneered them. We've had them forever. They're not new to us. The illustration's your best friend because it'll just show you the screenshot of kind of what the future would look like. There's no set percentage because I could have a heart attack and be up and walking in a week, or I could have heart attack and need open heart surgery. So the more the severity, the higher the payout, which makes sense. But generally speaking, terminal illness is if you have 2 years or less to live, we could see that pay up to maybe 90% of your death benefit as well.
So you guys do 2 years or less?
2 years or less.
That's
correct.
cool because most companies do 1 year or less.
Yep, and we're in all 50 states with our riders as well, even on our term products.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So that's something else that I think has always been cool is you guys have that NL product series, which is for New York, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So we don't buy a ton of leads in New York, but from time to time we'll get clients there, and you guys are one of the only companies that we can use to protect those clients, which is pretty cool.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So in terms of IULs, we have the Rapid Protect, which is the instant decision simplified issue IUL product. And then we have the FlexLife, which sometimes can be simplified issue. Sometimes it can, require labs, doctors, stuff like that. Can you talk about kind of the main differences between the two? And then if an agent has a client, let's just say an agent has an IUL client, when would they go Rapid Protect versus when would they go FlexLife?
It's a good question. So Rapid Protect is simplified issue. 100% of the time, whenever you're finished that electronic application, you'll know whether you're approved or denied. 100% of the time. So I moved from Texas to North Carolina, and I needed to get insurance for my apartment. I didn't want to go the house route again, so I got an apartment. I needed a policy quick. I didn't want to go back and forth with a company. So I went on my phone, applied with a carrier. I got a policy number for renter's insurance within, 5 minutes. That's kind of the consumer who would be a fit for simplified issue or Rapid Protect. They might not want that extra burglary or fire insurance. They just want protection right now. That's where your simplified issue falls into play. The FlexLife, it's still non-medical underwriting in a lot of scenarios. You're just going to have a little bit of a longer application process, but you get more bells and whistles with it. 30% of the time on average, the policies never even touch an underwriter. It actually instantly approves at the end of the e-app.
Wow.
If it doesn't instantly approve, it doesn't mean we need a paramed or anything. We just might have to ask additional questions. But FlexLife is, I wouldn't say necessarily a superior product. You just get more with it because there's a little bit more underwriting involved in the process.
Got it. Okay. So maybe someone that has a couple different medical things going on, maybe we go FlexLife because we probably want an underwriter to see, especially if it's not serious stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing would be maybe if it's a big one, or maybe someone wants to pay $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month, that route, they're definitely going FlexLife.
Correct. And I hate to generalize, but generally speaking, anybody $200 or less would probably fall into the simplified issue space. That's what I see a lot of the FFL agents doing.
Yep.
In your bigger cases, those people are probably healthy. They can afford it financially. So maybe they have a better credit score, are healthier. So you might want to pivot towards the FlexLife fully underwritten side of the house.
Awesome. And the simplified issue IUL, that goes up to how much in death benefit?
So it's the minimum is 50,000, 50 to $500,000, 500,000, and it's ages 0 to 60.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm sure you remember, because I think it was like a year ago, but the video you did with Andrew Taylor designing the kids' IULs was like that was such a educationally like just great video.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something else where we always talk about adding on products. We always talk about, trying to get referrals, maybe trying to sell like an annuity or something like that. But I think one of the main things that people forget to do, which arguably it might be the best product there is out there, is getting IULs on young children. And so age 0, literally it can be a newborn baby, get the IUL, start building the cash value. If anything happens, God forbid, they're covered with the living benefits and the death benefit, but they have that tax-free cash value after age, or I guess when they turn 18, let's say, that they can use for college, car, house, whatever it is.
Correct. Literally the youngest is 2 weeks old and out of the hospital, and you can write them an IUL. And think about the persistency on those cases. Most children are going to be insurable because they're children. And I say you buy life insurance with your health, not your money. Kids are going to get approved. And there's nothing that a grandparent or a parent won't do for their child.
When someone gets a IUL on a grandchild or a child, what are the requirements for the parent or the grandparents?
So in any scenario whatsoever, the child can get up to $500,000, 500,000.
Okay.
So if the mom does not have coverage, grandparents do not have coverage, $500,000. After that, the child would have to match one of the parents. So for example, if mom had $1 million term on her life, we could potentially offer $1 million on that child. So it's the highest of the one parent.
Got it. Okay. So up to 500,000 regardless. That's something super unique because I'm pretty sure all carriers, if not most, they require the parents to have a certain amount of coverage. And a lot of the time they either don't have a policy or they don't have enough.
Yep.
And so it's kind of frustrating because then we can't get them a big enough policy.
Correct. My only disclaimer is New York's going to work a little bit different, but
Sure.
the all other 49 states, $500,000 any scenario.
Sure. Okay, cool. So we were talking earlier. You said FFL volume is up a ton with NLG, which we love NLG, so that's awesome. And we've cracked now into the top couple carriers. How much are we up year over year from last year to this year so far?
51%.
Let's go. So 51%, and we have tons of momentum, so hopefully we can get close to 100% by the end of the year.
Yep.
Mayron will like that, right?
Yeah, he will.
By the way, Mayron, awesome. So we went to I don't know if you call it a leadership event, but it was like a FFL event, top IUL producers, managers. I think it was about a year ago. And I've done a bunch of these different carriers, but the one thing that was super unique is the CEO, Mayron, was there for pretty much the whole time. I think he did a dinner after, and he's just super involved. He goes to FFL convention, he speaks. So that's something else I like, where I know, hey, if I'm going to put my clients with a company, if I'm going to recommend our agents to write a certain company, that we know that, good people work there, people that, listen to us and want to make changes. So I think that's a really cool thing. Besides him being a cool guy, he seems to really want to be involved and make it so the process is the best for not only the agents, but also listen to feedback so they can improve products for the clients.
Yeah, and I mean, he's no different in Sean in the sense that he's in the trenches with you. You'll see them speaking in front of 5 agents. You'll see them speaking in front of 3,000 agents. But my head coach, that's what he likes to refer to himself as, CEO for 17 years. We're now the 7th largest carrier in the industry. He doesn't take as much credit for as he should, because he gives a lot of the teammates the credit, but we follow his vision, and he likes to be around the agents because it reminds him and gives him face time with who he's serving and what he does and why he does it. So that's why he's always around, because it reminds him of why he does what he does. He's a very hands-on CEO. You're not going to see him for 5 minutes then leave. He's going to be speaking with people, interacting with the agents, and he doesn't have any hobbies. This is his life, and he shows that.
Love it. Back to the growth. I'm going to ask you the question. I know it's going to be an easy question to answer, actually, but at the trajectory that we're going, my prediction is by the end of 2027, we're going to be for sure number 2, if not number 1. What do you think about that?
I think I like the sounds of it, and my goal for the past 7 years has been to get you guys to number 1. So is it possible? Sure.
Let's
absolutely.
Go. Hey, bro, we've become number 1 with pretty much every simplified issue, term and IUL, simplified and whole life carrier. So now that we're really starting to write with you guys, I think it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the things? So I know you guys just came out with the PIN, the text code signature, which is amazing because, as you can imagine, with clients, finding a email to sign, sometimes it kills deals, and it just kind of takes a little bit longer. So the PIN for the text code, and then also you guys take ITIN. Correct. Okay.
So we implemented PIN to sign, as you said, about 3 months ago. Getting a lot of good traction with that. I mean, even if I had to do an email and that signature is not exactly ideal, let alone somebody in their 40s, 50s, 60s. So we have that on all of our products. And we also came out with a few other features as well. We gave ITIN availability to the simplified issue IUL space. So we serve middle America, but we also serve our foreign nationals as well. So you don't necessarily have to have a social security number to get a policy with us. And that's somewhat unique in the life insurance space. It's extremely unique in the simplified issue IUL space. So that's a big reason why we've seen the growth, especially in the Latino community within FFL, is because of the ITIN availability.
Wow, super cool. I think something else that really stands out about you guys in terms of like these bigger IUL carriers is you guys seem to get the underwriting down quickly. So like things aren't, hanging up in underwriting for weeks and months, because what we've seen is you get someone on the phone, a client, you tell them how great it is, you get them, you answer all the medical questions, you go through the EAP, you submit it, and usually the promise is within a week, 2 weeks max, you're going to have a decision. I'll let you know. Well, the problem is sometimes when carriers take a month, or even we've had 2-3 month long pending underwriting cases, it kills the deal because the clients get super upset. So can you talk about kind of like underwriting speed and processes?
Yeah, I mean, as an agent, other than finding prospects, the worst part of the process is when you submit it to the carrier, because it's hurry up and wait. And to your point, clients can just say forget about it if it waits too long, and you guys can lose the sale. So we have north of 130 underwriters at our company, some of which work on the large case team. So face amounts 10 million plus, premiums in the millions. But net, we have over 130 underwriters. When it comes to our underwriting process, a really important part that I wish every agent knew: how the EAP is filled out is just as important as the health of the client. And what I mean by that is, I know buyers are liars, but if a lot of FFL agents took their time on the app and just gave complete honesty and full disclosure, a lot of your business would not touch underwriters, because that could help out with the instant approvals. But as far as the underwriting goes, we review policies within a 3 to 5 day time frame, closer to that 3 day mark now, because we're built for growth. We're hungry, we're staffed, and the wait times are unbearable. We're more competitive than ever when it comes to our service.
Yeah, I agree. when Roberto was in town a couple weeks ago, Bry was talking to him about how amazing the application is that you guys have for clients on their phone.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, he's like, a lot of my like trucker clients, he's like, I'm able to just say, hey, download the application on the Apple Store or whatever, Android, go in, log in, and then you can literally update your payment method and make sure that any missed premiums you can catch up and pay. Can you talk about, he said it's the best application out of any carrier he's ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, and shout out to Roberto. Roberto's doing an incredible job. That app is voted the best application on a smartphone in the entire life insurance industry. So when it comes to that application, because we have one for agents, but the one you're talking about with clients, they can make a payment. So they don't have to call the call center. They don't have to mail in anything or go through a bunch of headaches. They have access to it on their phone. They can update their address. They can even take out a loan, and depending on the bank, within hours from the time you take out a loan from your IUL, it can hit your bank account because of that smartphone application.
Whoa. And the clients, they can see all the policy details, living benefits. They can see everything in one hub.
Everything, your index crediting return. You can even change your riders and everything on there as well, beneficiaries. It's at your fingertips. You have basically anything you need to do on your policy.
Nice. I think that's super important for IULs because it's not just like a traditional whole life or term policy. So I think it's really important where clients can see everything. And then also, if they want to take out cash value, they can. If they want to overfund it, they can in the app, right?
Yep, correct.
Super cool.
Correct. I mean, it's called FlexLife for a reason. It's flexible. Your life's going to change. You might make more money. You might make less money. There's going to be different things you want to do with your policy as time goes on. And to your point, it's not cookie cutter necessarily like a whole life product. You can make changes after issue. And that application makes it extremely easy to do that.
Love it. So you guys do a badass trip every year. What's the location of the next trip?
The next trip's going to be in Cabo, San Lucas.
Okay, let's go. And that's for the rest of 2026 qualifying?
Until December 31st.
Okay, and how much premium do you have to do?
$220,000 in target premium.
Okay, so $220,000, and then have we announced next year's trip or no?
Not yet.
It's coming soon.
Coming soon.
Awesome. You guys are going to be Ignite here in about 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
Super excited for that. In terms of NLG's background in ratings, if you can share some of that, because I remember one time, it was probably like 3.5 years ago, I had a client that wanted an IUL. They were, we were talking about all the carriers we worked with, and it was super important to them that they had a very solidly ranked company in terms of like their ratings. Mm-hmm. But also when they went on like the Better Business Bureau or like one of those websites, if there was any amount of negativity, they did not want it. And I remember having to look up all the carriers in National Life Group. When I looked it up, it was the most clean in terms of like ratings, reputation, history, etc. And the client was happy. So we actually went with you guys because of that one factor.
Love it. You got good taste. Love it.
Yeah.
So this is really important. I'm glad you brought that up, especially with your higher premium clients. If you're paying $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, you want to know that your money is with a carrier that's going to fulfill on their promises. So if you look at our balance sheet, if you look at our S&P ratings, our Comdex score, it's really hard to beat our balance sheet and the reputation that we have as a company. And again, we have the number one selling IUL, if not number 2, 3 every quarter, every year, because we keep our promises. And what I mean by that is when you run an illustration, it's just a simple projection. Our policies actually credit and do what we say we're going to do. We're not going to hurt the clients after issue. We're not going to raise the cost of insurance significantly on them because we're a 100% mutual carrier. And that's what a lot of clients like about us. We answer to our policyholders. We're not a public company. So that's why our ratings are so good. And that's why we really do get a lot of business, especially with those higher case premiums.
Yeah. One of Nina's favorite lines she's been singing forever, and when she talks to like new agents or recruits is, yeah, like our carriers have been around for a long time. They're awesome. Even one of our carriers, NLG, actually paid a claim on the Titanic.
Correct.
Which is facts, right?
Correct. That's facts. Yes.
So how long has NLG been around for?
Since 1848. So 178 years.
So you guys have some history.
We got some history.
Very cool. Anything else you want to share with the team on updates from NLG? Anything to look out for, best practice, anything like that?
Just reach out to us for feedback. As much as I love compliments, I also like we understand that whatever carrier makes it easier for you to do business with, that's where you're going to send your business. So whatever is within our control and we can fix quickly, we're going to go ahead and do that, as you guys have seen. And even big picture stuff, because this really is just the beginning of our relationship. We're going to look back 5-10 years from now, and these are going to be small numbers compared to what we're going to do. So we don't take for granted that when you submit an application, you could submit it to 730 plus other insurance carriers. So reach out to feedback, come see us at Ignite. We've really improved all of our products, and we're working on making it even better. We're going to make an application even shorter for you guys in due time as well. So we're built for growth. We want your business, and we'll do what we can to continuously earn that.
Awesome. Well, hey man, I appreciate you coming in today. If you guys are going to Ignite, which everyone should be there, make sure you see Devon and the team at their booth and walking around. And we're going to send a lot more volume to you guys. So get ready for it. We're coming for the number one spot. Guys, if you liked today's podcast, you got value, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.